Hi everybody, this is Tammy and I'm back with another video as a member of the Wild Bunch, the Wild Orchid Craft design team. So for this week I wanted to share with you some of my silver trays, and you may have seen this one. I use this a lot in my videos to share with you the flowers or the embellishments that I use in my projects, or to hold different things that I'm displaying in my video. So this is one of the altar trays that I did a while ago, and I used a beautiful Wild Orchid Craft trellis rose here and just some lace, and then I stenciled the center with a mini antiquities stencil and some molding paste. So I just wanted to share with you a bunch of trays that I recently altered and just talk about what I look for, what kind of things I use on them, and also I used a bunch of Wild Orchid Craft products. So normally I would just go over the products that I use in the beginning of the video, but this time when I show you each tray, I'll just share with you what items I used on that tray. So I'm gonna start. I get my trays. This is one. I just look, when I go thrift shopping, I look for sorry for the glare, I just look for inexpensive silver plated trays that I can take and bring home and alter. I'm gonna spray paint them, so I don't want anything that's really expensive, or you know, I'm not really looking for antiques or anything like that. So this is one. I still haven't spray painted it, and this one I got in a thrift store, and it was a 4-pack, and I think it was $2.99. So here are two more from that same pack that I had gotten. It was, like I said, 4 pieces. And this is these are them spray painted. So the white ones, when I let me talk about the spray paint. When I spray paint the white ones or the ivory ones, because even if I use white spray paint, I kind of use like an inexpensive one, so they still come out looking like a cream color. So when I spray those, if I use the generic spray paint, then I put like 3 coats on it. But otherwise, I use a Rust-Oleum paint. So this is the generic spray paint that I use, and it's just basically generic. It costs, I think, like $1.99, and it's just a spray enamel white paint. So like I said, when I use this, I do really even thin coats, and I do a few of them. I do about 3 coats when I use this generic spray paint, just so that the color is nice and even. And if I put it on too heavy in a certain area, then it will bubble, or either it will start running, and I don't want that. Another one of the spray paints that I use is this Rust-Oleum American Accents, and this one's really nice. I recently got this. It was on sale for $2.49, and this is a semi-gloss, and it's Ivory Bisque, and that's what I spray painted this tray with. And look how beautiful and even that is. And this Rust-Oleum paint is good. It bonds to plastic. It's really great on wood and on metal, and that's why I've always, especially the pink, if you ever see anything metal in my craft room or that I'm displaying it as a project or anything, I've 100% of the time I've used this Rust-Oleum American Accents glossy candy pink. So this is my all-time favorite spray paint to use on my metals, and I use that on this one here. And on all the trays that I'm going to share with you, all the pink ones was done with this Rust-Oleum candy pink spray paint. I just love this. And like I said, it bonds to plastic, and it's great on metal. I spray it, and even on this, even though it has 2 times coverage, I still do 2 coats. I do 1 thin coat, and it pretty much covers it really well. And then I'll do a second coat to just to make sure that everything is nice and even, and it comes out really beautiful. So those are just plain ones. And the other thing I look for when I look for trays at the thrift store or while I'm out thrifting is I look for something that's kind of unique about it, or you know, so that it's not just a plain tray. So these had these really pretty little metal pieces on it, and they actually have a screw on the back, so I could take this off if I wanted to, but I just love the way that looked. And let me show you one of these trays that I already altered. Okay, so on this tray, I used one of the baby pink gardenias in a 35mm, and this is MKX 083. And then I also used some of the mixed flowers, which is MKX 598. And these mixed flowers, I really, this is the first time I've had this pack, and it's awesome. You get the same color, but different style flowers. So it's really great if you just wanted to try out some of the different kind of flowers that Wild Orchid Craft has. These mixed flower packs are fantastic for that. So here is my altar tray. And I just took some bling and put it in the center, and I love it that it has this open space right here. So if I gift this to somebody, I'll probably stencil on their initial and then and give it to them that way. But here on the side, I used some lace. Here's the pink, the baby pink gardenia, and then these carnations and sweetheart blossoms came from that mixed pack of flowers. And then I just have a little piece of lace there. And I put some crystal stickles over it all. And it's just so pretty. And these are great for sharing or for racking. I gave a few away with some embellishments on them. And I just stacked the embellishments on top of the tray. And then wrapped the whole thing. And then sent it to the person I was sending it to. So I just love these. And they look so nice. And they're... You know, you can put them pretty much anywhere in your house or in your craft room, and they just look so beautiful. Another place that I get trays is from the Dollar Tree. They have really nice trays in different shapes and different sizes, and they're only $1. So this is one that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I've already spray painted it. And this one, obviously I used my baby pink spray paint, and I only did one coat. So you can see right here how it's kind of, you can see the silver coming through, and then right here and here. So I did one thin coat, and if I go back and do another thin coat, it'll be covered perfectly. But I love these trays because they have some nice embossing on them. And then the edges are usually scalloped or something, or, you know, have something on the edges so they're not just so plain. So I love those. And now here's one that I altered. And this one is another one. And the trays at the Dollar Tree are usually pretty big. So that's why I don't only get them from the Dollar Tree, because I like some of the smaller trays as well. But this one, I just love this one. I spray painted it with the baby pink spray paint. I used a stencil, a doily stencil in the center with some molding paste. And then I put like a vine of some bling flourishes. And then also on this side. And everywhere I just used the white rhinestone flowers with a diamond center. And these are item number GST 168. So I put them as if they're growing off of this blingy vine. I also put one here in the center of the doily, and then also there's two over here. So that one's really pretty, really kind of plain, but it's still really beautiful. And the embellishments are not that high, they're pretty flat, so that you can still use this and put other things on top of it. So I usually get these or use these to use. I don't just let them sit in my craft room, but I like to use them on, you know, different projects and things like that. Here's another one that's pretty plain, and on this one I used the white stamen, and these are MKX 565. And then I also used the two-tone 10mm baby pink and ivory open roses, and these are MKX 009. And then here is this tray, and this one, I love this one, and I kind of messed up on it, so I just kept this one for myself. I won't be gifting it to anybody. But I spray painted it. I thought that it was really dry, but it wasn't. I sat something on it, and then when I picked that item up, it took out like little pieces of the spray paint because it wasn't completely dry. So then I kind of like tried to patch it, and anyway, I would rather keep it than to gift it to somebody. But all I did was stencil my initials here. And my craft room is pink, black, white, and like a tan color. So I just took this really beautiful black and white butterfly applique. And then here are the stamen that I used as the antenna. And then here are the two-tone open roses. And then I just used a word bead. So really plain, really simple, but look how gorgeous that is. I love this tray when I saw it, and this is from a thrift store. I love the little handles and then the embossing that's on the edges. So beautiful. Now this next tray, it doesn't seem like I used a lot of embellishments, but I did. So let me run through what I used on it really quickly. I used the large wild rosebuds, and these are MKX 100. I also used the mixed pink tea roses in 40 millimeter, and these are QVR 041. I used the baby pink gardenias in 40 millimeter MKX 083. I used some white seam binding, which is MKX 472. I used some white flat lace, and this is MKX 421. And then I also used the mixed leaves, and these are, I love these. I just got these recently. These are MKX 435. And then I also used one of the white rhinestone flowers with the diamond center, GST 168. So here is this tray. So gorgeous. So I spray painted it pink. I did a stencil, a butterfly stencil going up the center. I added some bling all the way around this little indentation. And this tray I got from a thrift store for, I think it was $1.49. But I love the little button or bubble edge on it. And then here's my little grouping of flowers. So here's the flat lace. Here is the white gardenia, or the pink gardenia. Here is one of the tea roses. Oh my gosh, I love those. The white open roses. Here's the seam binding. And then I just have some pearls dangling there. Here is some of the leaves. And this pack of leaves is awesome because you get a variety of colors and shapes and sizes, and it's all in one package. So, and there's 100 in there. Those are really beautiful. So these are very similar to the light pink and light green and baby pink rose leaves, but they're larger. So love those. And then here's the acrylic flower with the diamond center. So really beautiful tray. Love that one too. Okay, and let me move this and then I'll show you the next tray. So on the next tray, I also used the mixed flowers MKX 598. Some of the white flat lace, which is MKX 421. I used the white and cream tone tulip flowers. These are so beautiful. And these are MKX 141. And then I also used some of the mixed leaves, MKX 435. So this is the next tray. And this one, I call it my vintage tray because I used the cream paint. And then I used some gold masking paint, molding paste. It's actually called embossing paste. And that mini antiquities stencil. And then here's my grouping of the flowers. So the lace is on the bottom. I kind of just like pinched it together and so that it can be underneath this grouping of flowers. And then here are the leaves. There's two on this side and one on this side. I also added some tulle from my stash. And then all of these flowers, these really beautiful, I think these are tea roses. And then the large wild rosebuds and the sweetheart blossoms, those all came from the mix pack. And then here are the tulips right here. And then I used some diamond stickles to pull in some of that diamond, that gold color, so that it can balance really nicely with the gold embossing paste. So I love how this one turned out. Really, really pretty. So that's the next tray. And then the next one, and this is also the same tray as this one, but I just spray painted it white instead of pink. So my next one is this one here. And on this one, I used also the mixed flowers. I used the tulips again. I used the white stamens. And then the other new item that I used was a large ivory with pink blush orchids, MKX 555. And then this is this tray. And I absolutely love it. So all of the flowers here except for here's the orchid right here, and I kind of like folded it over, but that is a really beautiful flower. And then here's the tulips. And then all the other flowers are from the mix pack. I just spray painted, I used a spray that I got from Michael's, a shabby Shabby Pastel. It's a really pretty yellow color. I use that to change the color of the flowers to this really pretty soft yellow. I started by spray painting the tray with some white spray paint, and then I used a damask stencil here, and then I sprayed the whole thing with some pearl glimmer mist, and then I kind of like wiped it off of the edges so that it just stayed centered here in the middle with the damask stencil, but you can still see some of the shimmer, you know, pretty much all over the tray. And then I also added some of the leaves, really beautiful. So that's what I mean about that leaf pack. It has such a variety. So these are so beautiful. And then underneath everything, I have a little piece of an applique with some pearls dangling. And then I also use the white stamen. I'm not sure if I said that. So love that one. And there's the whole tray. So beautiful. And they don't need a lot of embellishments because, like I said, I still want them to be usable. I want them to be functional, but I wanted them to be pretty. So, you know, whoever gets it, or if I gift it to somebody, they can still use it to put things on. And, you know, so that I didn't want the embellishments to be all over so that it wasn't functional. So that is the next one. And then this one is also really, really embellished. And it has a lot of goodies on it. So this is, I call this one my turquoise tray. And I use the large white rosebuds again. And that's these, MKX 100. I use the mixed blue tone tea roses in 40 millimeter. And these are QVR 021. I use some of the 35 millimeter white gardenias, and these are MKX 079. I use some of the mixed blue tone hip rosebuds, GST 017. I love these. I use some of the white spiral stamen, MKX 576. I use some of the aqua stamen. And these are the double head pearl stamens. These are MKX 567. And then the last thing I used was some of the Venise butterfly appliques. And these are MKX 433. So let me share with you this tray. Remove these goodies. And this one is just absolutely beautiful. I love this one so much. So this is a really long tray I got from a thrift store. I spray painted it white. I added this really beautiful lace that I just got in a rack from Natalie, who has put some bling on it here on YouTube. Thanks so much, Natalie. This is some beautiful, beautiful lace. I used an applique that I had in my stash. And this was white, and I also used some sprays from my stash to change the color to a really pretty aqua color that matched the tea roses. Oh my gosh, so well. Look how beautiful that is. So here are the spiral stamen, and then the pearl head stamen, and here's the small gardenia, the 35 millimeter white gardenia, and then some of the hip rosebuds, and here's the sweet little Venise applique, the butterfly. And then I just have some iridescent pearls just running through that little cluster. And then I kind of duplicated it on this side. So here I have a part of the applique, some of the hip rosebuds. This is the wild rosebud, the large wild rosebud. And then another one of the tea roses. And then some more of the pearl head stamen. Love, love, love this tray. So beautiful. So that's that one. And then my last one that I wanted to share with you is, I just love this one. It came out so pretty. And it was a really, really unique tray. So I wanted to do something a little bit different with it. So this one I used the baby pink Sweetheart Blossoms. And these are MKX 347. I also use the white and cream tone Tulips, MKX 141. I use the two-tone light green and baby pink rose leaves, MKX 248. And I used some of this white elastic lace, MKX 588. So here is this tray. And it's still a tray. But I love this tray so much. So you can see, this is what I meant when I said it was so unique. It has these little open cuts in it. And I just took it, I spray painted it white, and it also had the little beads on the end. So then I just added some bling. I took a rose stencil that I had in my stash and some white molding paste, and I stenciled the rose here in the center. And then I just took a little spray and I sprayed it on like a paper towel, and I kind of just dabbed it over the raised part of the stencil to give it a really pretty light pink blush color, blush tone. It looks so beautiful. And then I added some more of the bling, the bling that I put on the outer edge. I put some more right here around the center. And then here is my little grouping of embellishments. So I have this really pretty cherub that I had from my stash, a cute little pink banner. Here are the tulips, and then also the sweetheart blossoms, the rose leaves, and then here's the lace. I tied it into a bow and just tucked it right here underneath the cherub. And then there's some more of the stamen right here on the back. And then I colored the wings and the flower on the flowers on the head of the cherub with some crystal stickles. And I put it all on top of a really beautiful white milk glass vase. So it's on a pedestal and just so gorgeous. And you can put some really nice goodies on here. They can't be like tiny, because you know it will slip through the holes, but these holes are not that wide, so it's just a really beautiful piece. So that is the last tray that I wanted to share with you that I made with all of these gorgeous embellishments from Wild Orchid Crafts. So you know, if you're out and you're looking at, if you're out at a thrift store, at a flea market, at a garage sale, and you see some silver trays, pick them up and give this a try. They are so beautiful, and you can always change them into something else just by adding some paint, some stenciling, some bling, and of course some beautiful Wild Orchid Craft products. So thank you so much everybody for watching. I will put in the description box all the product codes for all of the items that I used on my trays, as well as links to the Wild Orchid Craft YouTube page, their website, their Facebook group, and also the Pinterest group. So thank you so much everybody for watching, and I hope you're all having a really great day. Bye!